Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much you evolve, you still keep attracting people who aren't aligned with what your soul truly desires? It feels almost cosmic, like a silent pattern repeating in the background of your life. And deep down, you start questioning your energy, your worth, your intuition, even your destiny. But what if the real reason has nothing to do with luck and everything to do with a spiritual mechanism you were never taught to understand? There's a hidden frequency inside your subconscious, a vibrational signature shaped by old emotional imprints, invisible fears, and unhealed expectations. This signature quietly broadcasts into the universe, acting like a magnet that pulls certain people towards you, even the ones you consciously don't want. And the most surprising part? This magnetic pull has less to do with what you desire and more to do with what you still believe about love beneath the surface. The truth is bold. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are energetically available for. And sometimes what you're available for is shaped by emotional patterns you've accepted as normal without even noticing. Patterns from childhood, past relationships, and soul-level wounds that haven't fully dissolved. It's not your fault. It's the vibration you've been carrying, not the one you've been wishing for. But here's the twist no one tells you. Once you understand the spiritual explanation behind this cycle, you can shift it faster than you think. You can reprogram your emotional field, elevate your frequency, and finally step into a reality where love flows toward you instead of draining you. Nothing changes until the energy changes. But when the energy changes, everything does. By the end of this video, you'll understand the unseen forces influencing your relationships, the spiritual mechanics behind attraction, and the energetic adjustments that instantly transform who and what you draw into your life. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Your entire love life begins to rearrange itself. So take a breath, open your heart, and get ready to understand why the wrong people keep showing up and how to attract the right one by shifting a single spiritual frequency. Your energetic blueprint is a subtle combination of thoughts, emotions, subconscious patterns, and vibrational memories shaping everything you attract. It functions like an invisible magnetic field the universe reads instantly, even before you speak or act. Someone may consciously desire love, abundance, or alignment, yet their inner field may broadcast something completely different. This gap between desire and vibration silently fuels repetitive relationship cycles. And these cycles keep echoing until the energy shifts. This blueprint forms early in life, shaped by childhood experiences, emotional dynamics, and the subconscious interpretations of safety and love. If inconsistency, rejection, or emotional distance were familiar in the past, they become a recognizable frequency stored within the subconscious. The universe responds to familiarity, not preference, mirroring the vibration that feels known. So even when the mind wants a loving and conscious relationship, the deeper emotional field may still resonate with old memories, and resonance always attracts. It works much like tuning a radio. Whatever frequency you emit determines what you receive. In the realm of relationships, that frequency influences the kinds of people who feel drawn to your presence. If your emotional field carries frequencies of doubt, scarcity, or fear, you naturally pull partners who amplify those states. But when you shift into clarity, gratitude, and inner worthiness, you naturally attract healthier possibilities. The law of attraction always responds to the emotion beneath the thought. Many people try to change their love life through action alone without addressing the vibration underneath. They read books, follow dating strategies, or try harder, but they don't shift the subconscious beliefs directing their emotional field. True transformation begins when someone goes inward and adjusts the energy that guides their choices. Practices like meditation, emotional awareness, and self-observation create profound internal recalibration. Small energetic corrections lead to huge shifts in attraction. A powerful exercise is observing what feels normal in relationships. Does chaos feel familiar? Does inconsistency feel strangely comfortable? That comfort is vibrational evidence of your energetic blueprint. Journaling these patterns, even briefly each day, begins softening those imprints. As awareness increases, the emotional frequency starts to change naturally. And when the frequency shifts, the attraction shifts right along with it. Another transformative practice is visualizing the love you truly desire, but focusing primarily on the emotion rather than just imagery. The subconscious responds more deeply to feelings than to pictures. Feel the safety, the joy, the calm connection as if it were already real in your field. This emotional rehearsal gently retrains your subconscious to expect healthier dynamics. And expectation is one of the strongest forms of vibration. As this blueprint becomes more conscious, you begin noticing small, energetic leak-steiny habits, micro-beliefs, and emotional reflexes that quietly pull you toward old patterns. And the moment you start recognizing these energetic signatures, something powerful begins to shift inside you, leading directly into the next layer of this spiritual explanation. Every relationship you attract carries a subtle emotional echo from your past, even if you're not aware of it. The subconscious mind stores every experience, every wound, in every moment where love didn't feel safe. These emotional imprints create a vibrational memory that quietly shapes your manifestation field. They influence who feels familiar, who feels magnetic, and who you unconsciously gravitate toward. And this echo becomes the silent architect of your love life. The subconscious doesn't speak in words, it speaks in patterns, sensations, and emotional responses. If someone once associated love with anxiety, unpredictability, or emotional distance, the subconscious begins to equate those vibrations with connection. So when a new person arrives with similar energy, the body feels an instant sense of recognition, not because this person is right, but because their frequency matches an old emotional blueprint. Familiarity often disguises itself as attraction. This emotional echo explains why people say, "I don't know why I felt drawn to them." On an energetic level, the attraction wasn't random, it was resonance. The law of attraction responds not to what you consciously wish for, but to the emotional frequency you've rehearsed the longest. And if your subconscious has rehearsed fear, lack, or emotional chasing, it will continue pulling similar patterns into your reality, not as punishment, but as reflection. Healing begins when you acknowledge that attraction isn't always a sign of alignment. Sometimes it's a sign of repetition. Emotionally aware people start asking deeper questions. Does this feel like peace or does it feel like a pattern? That question alone shifts your vibration into awareness. And awareness is the first crack in the old emotional echo. When you observe the pattern instead of obeying it, the subconscious begins to lose its grip. A simple yet powerful exercise is to map your emotional triggers from past relationships. Notice what activated anxiety, what created attachment, what sparked fear, and what made you shrink. These moments reveal the vibrational roots of your patterns. When you write them down, the subconscious begins releasing the charge around them. Emotional clarity increases your frequency, allowing you to attract partners who align with your healed self rather than your wounded self. Another transformative practice is to sit in silence for a few minutes each day and breathe into your chest, asking your body what it still remembers about love. The body often holds truths the mind has forgotten. As you breathe, you may feel heaviness, tightness, or emotion rising. This is not regression, it's release. You're clearing the emotional residue that has been shaping your relationships for years. And each release raises your vibration. As these emotional echoes begin to dissolve, you start noticing a new kind of clarity, a calmness inside your energy field that feels foreign at first. This inner peace becomes the seed of a new magnetic frequency, one that attracts differently, responds differently, and chooses differently, naturally guiding you toward the next spiritual layer of why the wrong people kept appearing. Every person has a vibrational comfort zone, a frequency range where their mind and energy feel safe, even if that zone is hurting them. This comfort zone is built through repeated emotional experiences, shaping what feels normal inside the subconscious. If someone is used to uncertainty, inconsistency, or emotional chasing, those energies become their default vibration. So when a healthy, stable love appears, it can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. And the subconscious often resists what it doesn't recognize. This is why many people unconsciously sabotaged good relationships or push away emotionally available partners. Their comfort zone is calibrated to a different frequency, one shaped by old memories rather than present intentions. The mind says it wants peace, but the body is attuned to chaos. The heart says it wants love, but the subconscious is wired for survival. This mismatch creates inner resistance that the law of attraction mirrors externally. You attract what feels normal, not what feels good. A powerful realization is that the subconscious doesn't prioritize happiness, it prioritizes familiarity. It seeks what feels energetically predictable, even if it's painful. This is why patterns repeat. The universe is simply responding to the emotional frequency you feel at home in. If conflict feels familiar, you attract conflict. If emotional distance feels familiar, you attract distant partners. Familiarity becomes magnetism, and magnetism becomes reality. But this comfort zone can be recalibrated. To shift this frequency, you must first notice the kind of energy your nervous system relaxes into. Does it soften around kindness, or does it tense because kindness feels suspicious? Does stability make you feel grounded, or does it trigger fear of abandonment? Awareness of these reactions is the first step to vibrational expansion. When you identify what your energy considers normal, you can begin reteaching your subconscious what safety truly feels like. A simple practice is to expose yourself daily to small moments of emotional safety. It could be listening to calming music, placing a hand over your heart, or spending time in environments that feel peaceful. These micro experiences retrain your nervous system to associate safety with calmness rather than chaos. Over time, the frequency of peace becomes more familiar. And once peace feels familiar, your manifestation field shifts into alignment with healthier relationships. Another effective exercise is to visualize yourself receiving healthy love, not chasing it, not fearing it, but receiving it. Imagine the stability, the consistency, the warmth, and breathe into the sensation that you deserve it. At first, it may feel strange or even uncomfortable. That discomfort is evidence that your comfort zone is expanding. The subconscious slowly accepts this new frequency as safe, allowing you to attract partners who match your elevated vibration. As your vibrational comfort zone begins to shift, something remarkable happens. You stop resonating with the patterns that once defined your relationships. What used to feel magnetic begins to feel draining, and what used to feel unfamiliar begins to feel natural. This energetic shift prepares you for the next layer of understanding the spiritual mechanism behind who you allow into your field and why. There's a powerful spiritual truth many people overlook. Unhealed parts of you emit their own frequency, and that frequency attracts people who mirror those wounds. Not because the universe wants you to suffer, but because it wants you to awaken. When you carry unresolved emotions, your energy field sends out a subtle invitation to people who activate those emotions. This is why certain connections feel intense or magnetic instantly. That magnetism is often unhealed energy calling for healing. When you meet someone who aligns with your wounds, not your worth, the connection feels strangely familiar. It feels like destiny, when in reality it's vibrational repetition. The subconscious recognizes the emotional pattern and reacts with a strong pull. But that pull is not alignment. It's resonance with unprocessed energy. This is why people often mistake intensity for compatibility. Intensity is just the body remembering an old emotional script. Unhealed attraction thrives on emotional survival patterns. The instinct to fix, to chase, to earn love, or to prove your value. These patterns create a frequency rooted in scarcity and fear. And according to the law of attraction, that frequency draws people who activate the same emotional survival responses. The universe responds to vibration, not desire. So a person may want healthy love, but if their energy still vibrates with past wounds, they'll attract partners who reflect those wounds back to them. A powerful turning point occurs when someone recognizes that attraction is not always a sign from the universe. Sometimes it's a sign from the subconscious. When you can pause, breathe, and ask, is this attraction coming from wholeness or from old pain? You immediately raise your vibration. This single question can change the entire trajectory of your manifestation field. Awareness interrupts the old frequency, making space for alignment instead of repetition. To break the cycle, one transformative practice is emotional presence. When attraction arises, observe the sensations in your body without acting on them immediately. Does your chest tighten? Does your energy feel rushed? Do you feel pulled or grounded? These sensations reveal whether the attraction is from emotional memory or spiritual alignment. Naming these sensations helps dissolve their intensity. And when intensity fades, clarity rises. Another powerful exercise is to affirm what you are no longer available for. Write a list that begins with, I am no longer available for, and fill it with patterns, behaviors, and emotional dynamics you've outgrown. Then write a second list. I am now available for, and describe the love, frequency, and energy you choose moving forward. This practice reprograms your subconscious by shifting your emotional availability. Availability is vibration, and vibration is destiny. As the frequency of unhealed attraction loses its power, your energy begins to shift in ways that become impossible to ignore. Suddenly, people who once captivated you no longer feel magnetic, and new types of souls begin appearing in your field. This change is not random. It's the natural response of the universe to your rising vibration, leading directly into the next spiritual layer behind why the wrong people used to feel so right. At a spiritual level, Every connection you attract is based on emotional matching, a vibrational alignment between your inner world and someone else's. This matching doesn't happen consciously. It happens through energy, through the emotional frequency you emit without realizing it. If your emotional field still carries traces of abandonment, doubt, or fear, you naturally attract people who mirror those states. It's not punishment, it's resonance. And resonance is the language of the universe. This is why relationships feel so personal, even when they aren't. You're not just meeting a person, you're meeting a reflection of your vibrational state. Someone aligned with your highest self brings ease, clarity, and emotional safety because they match your healed frequency. Someone aligned with your wounds brings intensity, confusion, or inconsistency because they match your unhealed frequency. The universe always pairs you with whoever mirrors the energy you're holding most strongly. A helpful way to understand this is to picture your emotional field as a song. If your song is playing at a low frequency, only people tuned to that station can hear it. When your song begins shifting toward peace, gratitude, and abundance, different types of people show up in your reality. This is the essence of manifestation. Your internal vibration determines who recognizes you. Matching energy is the silent filter that guides every encounter, every attraction, every bond. To change who you attract, you must first tune in to the emotional frequency you're broadcasting. Ask yourself, what emotion usually sits behind my thoughts? What feeling drives my choices? What state do I fall back into when no one is watching? These questions help you recognize your dominant vibrational tone. And once you become aware of it, you gain the power to shift it. You can't change what you can't see. Awareness is the doorway to transformation. A powerful practice to recalibrate your emotional frequency is emotional journaling with intention. Instead of writing about events, write about the emotions underneath them. Label each feeling with honesty, fear, hope, longing, gratitude, insecurity. When you name emotions, they lose intensity. And when intensity dissolves, vibration naturally rises. This is emotional alchemy, turning old frequencies into higher ones through conscious awareness. Another transformative exercise is to intentionally spend time in environments that elevate your vibration. Places with calm energy, people who radiate warmth, activities that bring you joy. Your nervous system learns through experience, not logic. When you immerse yourself in higher frequency spaces, your emotional field begins to attune to them. And as your frequency shifts, emotional matching begins to work in your favor, attracting relationships aligned with your evolution. As you raise your emotional frequency, something remarkable becomes clear. You no longer resonate with the people you once felt drawn to. Their energy doesn't match yours anymore, and the universe begins removing them naturally. This shift prepares you for the next spiritual truth, that attraction is not just about matching frequencies, but also about the energetic wounds you're ready to outgrow. Many people confuse wound-based chemistry with genuine soul connection, creating a powerful spiritual trap that pulls them toward the wrong partners. This type of chemistry feels electric, intense, and almost addictive because it's rooted in familiar emotional wounds. The subconscious recognizes the emotional pattern and reacts instantly, creating a rush that feels like destiny. But what feels like chemistry is often just unhealed energy vibrating in sync. And that vibration disguises itself as attraction. Wound-based chemistry thrives on emotional scarcity, on the parts of you that haven't felt fully chosen, loved, or safe. When someone activates those same wounds, the body responds with heightened emotion. This creates the illusion of deep connection, when in reality it is unresolved trauma resurfacing. The law of attraction mirrors the frequency of these wounds, attracting people who unknowingly trigger the same emotional scripts. Intensity becomes mistaken for alignment, and pain becomes misread as passion. This explains why the strongest initial pull often comes from people who are emotionally unavailable or inconsistent. The subconscious associates unpredictability with love, if that was part of your early emotional conditioning. These partners activate a cycle of craving, chasing, and longing, which feels powerful because it mirrors unresolved energy. The universe isn't sending these people as soulmates, it's sending them as mirrors. And mirrors appear until the wound is healed. To break free from this trap, a person must separate chemistry from compatibility. Chemistry based on wounds feels chaotic, urgent, draining, or addictive. Compatibility based on alignment feels peaceful, grounded, warm, and steady. One expands your energy, the other collapses it. Learning to recognize the difference is a form of emotional mastery. And this mastery raises your frequency in ways that attract healthier relationships effortlessly. A powerful exercise is to reflect on the last 3 people you felt intense chemistry with. Write down what they activated in you emotionally: fear, hunger, insecurity, excitement, abandonment, hope. Then ask yourself, did this connection expand me or did it destabilize me? This reflection reveals whether the attraction came from soul alignment or emotional repetition. Awareness turns the chemistry trap into a doorway for growth. Another transformative practice is to experience slow connection intentionally. Give yourself permission to interact with people without rushing, without projecting, without attaching meaning too quickly. Slowness exposes truth. When the energy is healthy, the connection deepens with clarity and ease. When the energy is wound-based, the intensity fades as soon as the fantasy dissolves. Pace becomes a spiritual filter that reveals vibrational compatibility. As you learn to distinguish true alignment from emotional repetition, a new sense of power begins rising inside you. Attraction becomes conscious instead of impulsive, intuitive instead of chaotic, peaceful instead of addictive. And this shift prepares you for a deeper realization that your energy not only attracts others, but also teaches them how to treat you. Whether you notice it or not, your energy teaches people how to treat you long before you ever speak a word. Your boundaries, your self-worth, your emotional availability, and even your silence all carry a vibrational message. The universe responds to this message by sending people who match it energetically. If your field carries the frequency of overgiving, people who take will be drawn to you. If your vibration radiates confidence and clarity, people who respect and honor you show up naturally. Your energy communicates what you will tolerate, what you fear, and what you subconsciously believe you deserve. This is why 2 people can meet the same partner and have completely different experiences. Each brings a different vibration into the dynamic. Your emotional frequency sets the tone. If someone senses uncertainty, they may push boundaries. If they sense inner strength, they align or step back. Energy is instruction, and instruction becomes reality. This is not about blaming yourself, it's about understanding the power you never realized you had. When your energy carries self-respect, gratitude, alignment, and emotional clarity, the universe mirrors those frequencies back to you. People who cannot meet that vibration naturally fall away because they cannot resonate with your field anymore. This is the law of attraction operating in its most subtle, profound form. Your internal alignment shapes your external relationships. One transformative shift occurs when you move from explaining your worth to embodying it. Explanation is mental. Embodiment is vibrational. When your energy knows its value, you no longer need to convince anyone. Your presence becomes its own boundary. You stop chasing, you stop proving, and you stop negotiating for basic respect. This change in frequency creates a new energetic standard, and that standard reshapes every relationship around you. A powerful exercise is to identify the areas where your energy whispers instead of speaks. Do you shrink when expressing your needs? Do you offer too much just to feel accepted? Do you stay silent to avoid conflict? These behaviors reveal where your vibration still holds fear or scarcity. Naming these moments helps you shift into emotional alignment. The moment you express your truth, even softly, your energy recalibrates. Another transformative practice is to anchor your day with an intention that sets the tone for how others respond to you. An example, I embody the energy of someone who is respected, valued, and loved. Repeat it slowly, allowing the words to shape your frequency. When intention becomes vibration, the universe begins rearranging your surroundings to match your new emotional standard. People feel the shift even if they don't understand it consciously. As you strengthen this energetic presence, something powerful begins to unfold. The wrong people lose access to you. They no longer resonate with your field, no longer feel magnetic, no longer fit into your emotional landscape. And this shift opens the door for the next spiritual truth, that attracting the right people requires clearing the emotional space where the wrong ones used to live. Before the right people can enter your life, you must release the energetic space currently occupied by misaligned connections. Every unresolved attachment, lingering hope, or emotional cord holds a certain frequency, and that frequency influences what you attract. Even if you've physically moved on, the emotional residue can still echo in your vibration. And as long as that echo remains active, it limits the universe's ability to bring new aligned love into your field. Energy must be cleared before it can be refilled. Energetic space isn't just physical absence, it's emotional openness. When someone still carries resentment, longing, confusion, or nostalgia, their field is cluttered with mixed signals. The universe receives these signals and responds with people who match the same ambiguity. This is why some individuals attract inconsistent partners, even when they consciously desire stability. Their vibration is still tangled in old emotions, pulling similar energies toward them. Clearing space is a spiritual necessity. Letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is releasing the vibrational hold someone has on your subconscious. When you detach emotionally, your frequency rises, your clarity sharpens, and your soul begins calling in new levels of connection. But this release must be intentional. It often requires acknowledging attachments you didn't realize were still active. The moment you recognize them, you begin reclaiming your power. Awareness loosens the energetic grip. A powerful exercise is to write a letter you will never send. In this letter, express every emotion still connected to that person. Love, disappointment, anger, gratitude, confusion. Do not censor anything. This process frees the emotions stored in the subconscious, allowing your energy to realign. When you finish, breathe deeply and affirm, I release you with love. I reclaim my energy. This simple ritual shifts your frequency in profound ways. Another transformative practice is cord cutting visualization. Imagine the person standing at a distance, connected to you by strands of energy representing shared memories and unresolved emotions. With compassion, visualize yourself gently removing each cord, sending the energy back to them, and calling your own energy home. This practice doesn't erase the past, it frees the present. And when your present is free, your vibration rises into abundance and alignment. As you release these energetic ties, something remarkable happens. Your clarity returns. The things you once tolerated no longer resonate. The people who once felt magnetic lose their pull. Your emotional field becomes lighter, calmer, and more receptive. This openness is what invites aligned relationships into your life. The universe fills the space you create, but only with energies that match your new frequency. As your energetic space clears, you begin noticing subtle shifts in your inner world, new desires, new boundaries, new levels of self-respect emerging naturally. And these internal shifts prepare you for the next spiritual layer. Understanding why the universe delays certain connections until your vibration is ready to receive them fully. One of the most misunderstood spiritual truths is that the universe often delays aligned connections to protect your frequency, not to punish you. When your emotional field is still tangled with old wounds, misaligned desires, or conflicting intentions, attracting the right person too soon could cause you to repeat the same patterns. The universe waits for the moment when your vibration matches the relationship you're asking for. Alignment is timing, and timing is energy. The delay is often a form of divine protection. This delay becomes a vibrational buffer, giving you space to grow into the emotional version of yourself who can sustain the love you're manifesting. Many people want the right partner while still operating from fear, scarcity, or unhealed attachment. If the relationship arrived at that stage, it would be met with insecurity instead of confidence, resistance instead of openness. The universe withholds aligned love until your frequency can hold it. This is the intelligence of divine timing. Energetic readiness is not about perfection. It's about coherence. When your beliefs, emotions, desires, and actions vibrate in harmony, you become magnetic to aligned connections. Until then, the universe filters out people who do not match your highest vibration. This filtering may feel like rejection, but it's actually redirection. What leaves your life is often clearing the path for what is meant to enter. Every no is a frequency correction leading you toward a deeper yes. A powerful realization occurs when you notice the patterns the universe has been highlighting. The wrong people fall away, situations collapse, and familiar dynamics no longer feel tolerable. This is not loss, it's recalibration. Your energy is rising, and everything that cannot meet that frequency must dissolve. When you embrace this process, you shift from frustration to gratitude. Gratitude raises your vibration, speeding up the manifestation of aligned love. A transformative exercise is to ask yourself, what version of me is the universe preparing for the love I desire? Write down the qualities, habits, and frequency of that version. Are they emotionally grounded? Do they trust the process? Do they embody self-worth? Then ask which behaviors you can begin embodying now. This creates energetic coherence between your current state and your desired reality. Coherence is a powerful magnet for manifestation. Another practice is to meditate on the feeling of divine timing. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and imagine your love life unfolding with perfect rhythm. See the universe arranging connections behind the scenes, guiding you toward the right person at the right moment. This visualization activates trust, softens resistance, and aligns your vibration with patience and certainty. Certainty is a high-frequency state that accelerates attraction. As you embrace divine timing, something subtle yet powerful begins to shift within you. The anxiety fades, the urgency dissolves, and your energy becomes softer, clearer, and more receptive. And as this receptivity grows, the next spiritual layer begins to reveal itself. The energetic boundaries that shape who enters your field and who never makes it through. Energetic boundaries are the invisible lines that define what enters your field and what is repelled by it. Long before physical boundaries are spoken, your vibration communicates what is allowed and what is not. If your boundary frequency is weak, unclear, or inconsistent, you naturally attract people who test limits, drain your energy, or mirror unresolved wounds. When your boundaries are strong, aligned, and rooted in self-worth, misaligned people can't sustain access to your field. They slip away because the resonance isn't there. Your boundaries are not created through force. They are created through frequency. A person who embodies emotional clarity radiates a vibration of self-respect that the universe mirrors back. People who carry chaotic or manipulative energy cannot maintain connection with someone vibrating in peace and alignment. The mismatch becomes uncomfortable for them. This is one of the most powerful spiritual protections you have, a frequency that naturally filters what is not aligned. Weak boundaries often come from fear of losing someone, fear of conflict, fear of being misunderstood, or fear of being alone. These fears lower your vibration and signal the universe to send people who match that emotional scarcity. When you strengthen your energetic boundaries, you rise into a frequency of self-love, confidence, and grace. This shifts the entire dynamic of who approaches you and who stays. Attraction becomes intentional instead of accidental. A powerful moment of transformation occurs when you realize that boundaries are not walls. They are guidelines for your emotional energy. They tell the universe what you are willing to receive and what you are no longer available for. When your boundaries align with your worth, the universe responds instantly. People who resonate with respect, presence, and integrity feel drawn to you. Those who don't quickly fade. Boundaries are energetic sorting mechanisms. One practical exercise is to identify your energetic leaks, the moments when you say yes but mean no, when you overextend, or when you remain silent to keep the peace. Write these moments down and ask yourself what emotion drove each choice. Fear? Guilt? Attachment? These emotions reveal the vibrational weak points in your boundaries. Awareness of them begins the recalibration process. Awareness itself is a frequency shift. Another transformative practice is to use morning affirmations that anchor your energetic field. Examples include, I honor my energy, I choose relationships that expand me, and I am aligned with people who respect my soul. When repeated with intention, these affirmations embed new instructions into your subconscious. Your vibration rises into coherence, and the universe begins rearranging your interactions accordingly. Boundaries become effortless when the energy behind them is aligned. As your energetic boundaries strengthen, something profound begins to happen. You stop attracting people who take more than they give. You stop feeling responsible for others' emotions. You begin attracting relationships that flow with reciprocity, clarity, and emotional abundance. And this shift naturally leads into the next spiritual layer, understanding how your internal dialogue creates the external patterns you experience. Your inner dialogue is one of the most powerful vibrational forces shaping who you attract. Every thought you repeat, every belief you reinforce, and every silent conversation you have with yourself sends a frequency into the universe. When your inner voice is filled with self-doubt, fear, or unworthiness, your energy field reflects that tone, and the universe mirrors it back through relationships that match those vibrations. Your inner dialogue becomes the script that others unconsciously follow. The subconscious mind absorbs your inner words as truth, even when those words are distorted by old wounds. If you quietly believe you're hard to love, not enough, or always overlooked, your energy begins to broadcast that belief. These low-frequency broadcasts create an energetic invitation for people who confirm those fears. Not because you deserve less, but because energy responds to consistency. Your inner voice sets the emotional frequency of your manifestations. This is why two people with similar experiences can attract completely different types of partners. One person speaks to themselves with compassion, confidence, and clarity, strengthening their energetic field. The other internalizes fear, judgment, and self-criticism, weakening their vibrational boundaries. The universe responds to these differences through the law of attraction. Your thoughts are not just thoughts. They're vibrational commands sent into the quantum field. A powerful shift begins when you become aware of your automatic inner responses. Notice how you speak to yourself when you're disappointed, when you're hopeful, when you're lonely, or when you feel attracted to someone. These moments reveal the tone of your emotional frequency. If your inner dialogue collapses into fear during emotional triggers, it shows where your vibration still needs healing. Awareness interrupts old patterns and invites alignment. One transformative practice is intentional self-talk. When you catch your mind repeating old narratives, pause and redirect the tone. Replace, "I'm afraid they'll leave," with "I trust myself and the universe." Replace, "I'm not enough," with "I am worthy of the love I desire." Small shifts in language create massive shifts in vibration. The subconscious listens more to repetition than logic. The more you reinforce healthy thoughts, the more your frequency elevates. Another profound practice is mirror work. Look into your own eyes and speak affirmations that align with your desired reality. I am worthy. I attract love that matches my soul. I am aligned with abundance and clarity. Mirror work bypasses mental resistance and imprints directly into the subconscious. It builds a vibrational foundation of self-love and emotional abundance that transforms your attraction field. You begin radiating a frequency that only aligned connections can match. As your inner dialogue transforms, you notice a new sense of emotional authority rising within you. You stop chasing validation, stop absorbing other people's projections, and stop allowing old narratives to shape your relationships. This inner shift sets the stage for the next spiritual truth. Understanding how your emotional triggers reveal the patterns still active in your vibration. Emotional triggers are not signs of weakness. They are spiritual indicators pointing directly to the parts of your energy that still need healing. When someone's behavior activates a strong emotional reaction within you, it reveals a vibration stored in your subconscious. This vibration influences your manifestations, your relationships, and your sense of worth. Triggers carry valuable information about your inner world. They expose the patterns responsible for attracting the wrong people again and again. Most people react to triggers without understanding their spiritual purpose. They get defensive, shut down, overthink, or chase validation because the emotional wound beneath the trigger has been activated. This reaction lowers your vibration and reinforces old cycles. But when you observe the trigger, instead of acting from it, you step into emotional intelligence. You shift from reacting unconsciously to responding consciously. And consciousness raises your frequency instantly. A trigger is essentially the past trying to enter the present. The universe uses triggers as invitations to heal what you've been carrying for far too long. If abandonment is triggered, it means that belief is still active in your vibration. If rejection is triggered, the emotional imprint hasn't fully dissolved. These emotional activations are not punishments, they are opportunities for expansion. They show you exactly where alignment is needed and where your frequency can rise next. A transformative practice is to pause when a trigger appears and ask, what is this moment trying to teach me about my vibration? This question shifts your attention inward rather than toward the person who triggered you. Suddenly, the situation becomes less about them and more about your healing. Journaling your answers helps dissolve emotional intensity. The moment the intensity fades, your frequency rises, and you stop attracting partners who mirror that wound. Another powerful exercise is somatic grounding. When a trigger hits, place your hand over your heart and breathe deeply into the sensation. This brings your awareness into the body where the emotional memory is stored. Breathing into the sensation calms the nervous system and creates space for clarity. This simple act transforms emotional chaos into conscious presence. Presence heals, and healing rewires your attraction field. You can also introduce compassion into your triggers by speaking to yourself with gentleness. It's safe to feel this. This emotion is temporary. I am worthy even when I am activated. These affirmations soothe the emotional body and shift your vibration from fear to acceptance. Acceptance is a high-frequency state that dissolves resistance. As resistance softens, your attraction field recalibrates toward healthier relationships that match your growth. As you begin to understand your triggers, not as obstacles but as teachers, your entire relationship with yourself transforms. You start recognizing which emotions belong to the past and which belong to the present. This clarity empowers you to make aligned choices instead of reactive ones. And this new clarity gently leads you into the next spiritual truth, how your nervous system plays a crucial role in who you attract and why. Your nervous system plays a far bigger role in attraction than most people realize. It remembers every emotional experience you've ever had, especially the painful ones, and stores them as survival codes. These codes shape how your body reacts to certain people and energies. If chaos, inconsistency, or emotional intensity were part of your past, your nervous system becomes conditioned to those frequencies. So when someone activates that familiar chaos, your body responds with a sense of chemistry. But this chemistry isn't love, it's survival. Because the nervous system seeks what feels familiar, not what feels healthy. It often pulls you toward people who activate old states of hypervigilance or fear. This is why emotionally unavailable or unpredictable partners can feel strangely magnetic. Your body recognizes their energy as familiar, even if it hurts you. Meanwhile, emotionally available, stable, or calm people might feel boring or off at first. That reaction isn't intuition, it's dysregulation. Your nervous system is responding to its conditioning. When your nervous system is dysregulated, your vibration becomes scattered. You oscillate between fear, longing, overthinking, and self-doubt. And the universe mirrors this fragmented frequency back to you. You attract partners who amplify those states instead of soothing them. A regulated nervous system, however, emits clarity, confidence, and emotional balance. And that balanced frequency naturally attracts relationships rooted in peace, abundance, and alignment. A transformative practice is learning to identify the difference between intuition and trauma responses. Intuition feels calm, clear, grounded, and spacious. Trauma responses feel urgent, shaky, obsessive, or emotionally overwhelming. Whenever you feel drawn to someone, pause and notice how your body responds. Is your chest tight? Is your breath shallow? Is your energy rushing? These are signs of dysregulation, not alignment. Awareness helps you separate truth from emotional memory. Another powerful exercise is grounding your nervous system daily. You can do this by slow breathing, meditation, journaling, walking in nature, or even placing a hand on your heart for 1 minute. These practices teach your body how to feel safe without needing intensity or unpredictability. As your nervous system learns safety, your vibrational field stabilizes. Stability becomes your new frequency. And the universe responds by sending people who match that inner stability. You can also heal your attraction patterns by expanding your window of tolerance, the emotional range where you feel safe and regulated. Spend time with people who feel calm and centered, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. Your nervous system learns through exposure. The more you allow yourself to experience emotional peace, the more your subconscious begins to treat peace as normal. And once peace becomes familiar, your entire love life shifts into a new energetic trajectory. As your nervous system rewires itself, your perception of attraction transforms. The people who once fascinated you lose their power. The relationships that once destabilized you stop feeling magnetic. Your body begins craving what aligns with your soul, not what echoes your wounds. And this shift prepares you for an even deeper spiritual realization that your past relationships are karmic teachers guiding you toward your highest frequency. Every repetitive connection you experience carries a karmic lesson, not in the sense of punishment, but in the sense of spiritual refinement. These relationships return to illuminate the beliefs, emotions, and vibrational patterns that still need healing. When the same type of person keeps appearing in your life, it means the karmic cycle hasn't been fully integrated yet. The universe keeps presenting the same lesson until your energy shifts. Once the lesson is learned, the cycle dissolves instantly. Karmic relationships often feel intense, magnetic, or emotionally consuming because they activate deep soul memories. These connections push you toward growth by triggering the unresolved frequencies stored in your subconscious. The law of attraction mirrors these karmic vibrations through people who reflect your unhealed parts. They show you where your boundaries collapse, where your self-worth wavers. These relationships are mirrors more than partners, teachers, more than soulmates. A karmic cycle continues when you react the same way each time, ignoring red flags, abandoning your needs, chasing validation, or shrinking yourself for connection. These behaviors keep your vibration locked in old patterns. But the moment you respond differently, by choosing clarity, alignment, and emotional sovereignty, the karmic loop begins to break. New actions create new frequencies, and new frequencies create new outcomes. Your healing changes your destiny. A powerful practice is to reflect on your last 3 significant connections and identify the repeating themes. Did they trigger the same wounds? Did they evoke similar insecurities? Did they follow the same emotional timeline? These patterns reveal your karmic curriculum. Writing them down brings clarity to what the universe has been trying to teach you. Awareness opens the door to transformation, and transformation elevates your vibration. Another transformative exercise is to choose one new behavior that disrupts the karmic pattern. Whether it's setting a boundary, practicing self-respect, or walking away sooner, this single shift rewires your energetic field. Every time you act from alignment instead of fear, your karmic lesson integrates more deeply. The universe responds to this integration by removing misaligned people from your path. This is how you graduate energetically, through action that honors your soul. You can also release karmic attachments through forgiveness, not forgiveness as approval, but forgiveness as liberation. When you forgive, you untangle yourself from past vibrational cords. You reclaim your emotional energy and rise into a new frequency. This frees you from repeating the same dynamics with new faces. Forgiveness is one of the highest vibrational acts. It dissolves karmic residue and opens space for aligned love to manifest. As you integrate these karmic lessons, you begin noticing a profound shift in your attraction field. What once felt magnetic now feels draining. What once felt normal now feels misaligned. You start choosing differently, attracting differently, and vibrating differently. And this evolution leads you to the next spiritual revelation, understanding how your future self is already guiding you toward the relationships meant for your highest path. There is a version of you already existing in a higher frequency, a future self who has healed, aligned, and elevated their vibration. This version of you is not imaginary. It's a vibrational reality within the quantum field. And this future self constantly guides you through intuitive nudges, emotional signals, and moments of clarity. When you feel a sudden urge to break a pattern, set a boundary, or choose differently, that impulse comes from your future self. It's your soul pulling you toward your highest alignment. Your future self vibrates at the frequency of the love you desire, the confidence you crave, and the clarity you're growing into. When you access this frequency, even for a few moments, your entire attraction field begins to shift. You start feeling drawn to healthier people, healthier environments, healthier choices. This is not coincidence, it's coherence. You're aligning your present vibration with the reality your soul already inhabits. Attraction becomes a natural extension of your evolution. One of the most profound realizations is that your future self is not waiting for you to become perfect, only aligned. The moment you resonate with their frequency, even slightly, the universe begins reconfiguring your path. Old relationships fall away, emotional patterns dissolve, and new connections appear effortlessly. This is because manifestation responds instantly to vibrational upgrades. Your future self is your energetic North Star, guiding you toward abundance, clarity, and love. A powerful exercise to access this frequency is future self-visualization. Close your eyes and imagine meeting the version of you who already embodies emotional balance, inner peace, and confident attraction. Notice how they speak, how they breathe, how they stand. Ask them what they release to reach this state. Ask them what they stop tolerating. This dialogue bridges the gap between your current vibration and your future reality. It activates your next level. Another transformative practice is to make decisions from the energy of your future self. Before responding to a message, entering a relationship, or setting a boundary, ask, what would my aligned future self choose right now? This question rewires your subconscious and elevates your emotional frequency. Each aligned decision becomes an energetic investment in your destiny. You begin embodying the love you're manifesting long before it arrives physically. Your future self also communicates through discomfort. When you feel misaligned around someone, when your intuition tightens, or when your energy drops, these sensations are warnings from your higher timeline. They signal that a connection or situation does not match your soul's frequency. Honor these signals. They are spiritual shortcuts that prevent you from repeating painful cycles. Listening to them accelerates your evolution. As you deepen your connection with your future self, your attraction field becomes clearer, stronger, and more magnetic. You stop settling. You stop chasing. You stop doubting your worth. Instead, you rise into a vibration where aligned love becomes inevitable. And as this frequency stabilizes within you, it leads directly into the next spiritual layer. Understanding how your energy creates ripple effects that shape every connection you experience. Every shift you make within your emotional and vibrational field creates a ripple effect that shapes every relationship around you. When your frequency rises, the universe reorganizes itself to match your new level of alignment. Old patterns dissolve, misaligned people fade, and opportunities begin to appear that were previously blocked by energetic resistance. This ripple effect is subtle at first, but unmistakable. Your inner transformation becomes the blueprint for your new reality. The ripple effect also influences the behavior of the people you interact with. When your vibration elevates, some individuals naturally rise to meet your new frequency. They become more respectful, more conscious, more present because your energy demands it without force. Others become unsettled, distant, or inconsistent because they can no longer resonate with your field. This is not rejection. It is resonance sorting your connections. Energy organizes your relationships with perfect precision. Your transformation also affects how you communicate, how you set boundaries, and how you choose partners. When your inner world is rooted in clarity and abundance, you stop over-explaining, over-giving, or overthinking. You choose from self-worth instead of fear. This change shifts your entire timeline. The universe begins aligning you with people who reflect your growth, not your wounds. Your energy becomes a silent declaration of the love and respect you expect. A powerful part of this ripple effect is the way it alters your perception. As your vibration increases, you begin seeing people for who they are, not for who you need them to be. Your intuition sharpens, your emotional intelligence deepens, and your clarity strengthens. You stop romanticizing potential and start honoring reality. This clarity prevents you from entering relationships that drain your energy. It also helps you recognize aligned love the moment it appears. One transformative exercise is to track your energetic ripple. Write down the changes you've made in your inner world and observe how your external world responds. Did a draining relationship fade? Did new opportunities appear? Or did you suddenly feel less attracted to certain people? These observations reveal how powerful your vibration truly is. You begin to understand that you never had a relationship problem. You had an energetic alignment journey. Another powerful practice is to intentionally elevate your frequency each morning with gratitude, visualization, or meditation. These simple acts recalibrate your emotional field and set the tone for the day. When you begin the day in alignment, the universe mirrors that alignment back to you through synchronicity, connection, and clarity. Your energy becomes a magnet that attracts experiences of abundance, love, and spiritual coherence. As your energetic ripple expands, your entire life begins to shift into a new rhythm. You feel more grounded, more confident, more magnetic. You notice that the wrong people simply cannot access you anymore, while aligned souls appear naturally. This expansion leads you into the final layer of this journey, this spiritual truth about why you will never attract the wrong people again once your vibration stabilizes in your highest frequency. When your vibration finally stabilizes in alignment, your attraction field undergoes a permanent transformation. You stop resonating with the frequencies that once pulled you into confusion, inconsistency, or emotional pain. The universe can no longer send you misaligned partners because your energy doesn't match them anymore. Attraction becomes a vibrational equation, and now the equation has changed. You rise into a frequency where the wrong people simply cannot exist. This shift doesn't happen through force. It happens through coherence. When your mind, heart, and soul vibrate in harmony, your energy becomes unmistakably clear. This clarity repels chaotic connections instantly. People who once felt magnetic suddenly feel draining or energetically incompatible. You no longer feel pulled toward intensity masquerading as passion. Instead, you feel drawn to people who bring peace, stability, and emotional abundance. Your frequency chooses for you. One of the most beautiful changes is that your intuition becomes louder than your wounds. You no longer confuse red flags with chemistry or emotional activation with alignment. Your body stays regulated, your mind stays clear, and your heart stays open. This internal stability changes how every connection feels. The wrong people no longer excite your nervous system. They no longer awaken old wounds. They simply don't match the energy of who you've become. Your elevated frequency also reshapes your boundaries effortlessly. You no longer negotiate your worth, overextend yourself, or chase potential. You don't fix, you don't shrink, and you don't self-abandon. These shifts send a powerful message into the universe. I only allow love that aligns with my soul, and the universe responds with precision. Aligned connections appear organically without force, confusion, or resistance. Attraction becomes a state of receiving instead of chasing. A transformative sign that you've shifted frequencies is how quickly you feel. Disinterest when someone's energy doesn't match your vibration. Where you once felt drawn in, you now feel detached. Where you once felt anxious, you now feel bored. Where you once felt fear of losing someone, you now feel clarity about who belongs in your life. This emotional neutrality is spiritual proof that your attraction field has healed. Neutrality is alignment. Another powerful sign is that aligned people begin recognizing your energy instantly. They feel your clarity, your confidence, your emotional maturity. They approach you differently with respect, consistency, honesty, and presence. Your energy teaches them how to treat you before you ever speak. These aligned souls arrive because your frequency has become a match for their emotional and spiritual integrity. You attract from abundance instead of scarcity. As this new frequency stabilizes, your love life shifts into a new timeline, one where chaos is no longer attractive. Wounds no longer choose for you, and fear no longer shapes your reality. You begin experiencing connections that reflect your growth, your worth, and your awakened consciousness. And from this elevated state, you naturally transitioned into the next phase of your spiritual journey, learning how to receive the kind of love you once thought was impossible. Now that you understand the spiritual mechanics behind your attraction patterns, the power is in your hands. Nothing changes until you apply this knowledge, but the moment you do, your entire vibrational field begins to shift. Every small act of awareness, every boundary honored, every moment of emotional clarity becomes a signal to the universe. I am ready for aligned love, and the universe always responds to readiness. The question is, are you willing to embody the frequency you desire? Take a moment to reflect on your journey. What patterns are you ready to release? What version of yourself are you stepping into? What energy are you prepared to never tolerate again? These aren't just reflective questions. They are energetic commands. Your answers shape your future timeline. The person you become today determines the love you attract tomorrow. Your vibration is your destiny, and you have the power to recalibrate it at any moment. Imagine how your life transforms when your energy becomes clear, grounded, and aligned. Imagine attracting people who respect you, match your emotional presence, and speak the same vibrational language as your soul. Imagine relationships that feel peaceful instead of unpredictable, expansive instead of draining, and nourishing instead of confusing. This isn't wishful thinking, it's the natural result of alignment. The universe meets you at the frequency you choose. So here's your invitation. Choose yourself. Choose your healing. Choose your worth. Decide that you are no longer available for the connections that shrink your spirit. Decide that your heart deserves to be met, not managed. Decide that your energy is sacred. When you make these decisions, your vibration rises effortlessly. And when your vibration rises, the right people can finally find you. Your future self will thank you for the choices you make today. And before you go, I want you to carry one question with you. If your energy became the only tool shaping your love life, what would you change first? Let that question guide your next step. Let it open your heart to new possibilities. Let it remind you that your frequency is your superpower. You are the creator of your reality. The universe is simply responding to the signal you send. If this message resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and activate the notifications so you never miss another video that helps you manifest the love, healing, and abundance your soul is calling for. Your journey is just beginning, and the universe is already moving in your favor.